Spinny, spinny. Right, let's get you settled in a position that is comfortable. Well, I can stop spinning for starters. You're a bit wonky like that. I want to see wonky. Okay. Tea. Okay. Is this actually going to focus, do we think? You have to excuse me. I've just done the housework. So I am completely a mess. Hey, Harry Cuthbert, how's things? How's things? How are you feeling today? Fancy joining me on this book today? Who did I just see come in? Ida Big Kahunas. Hello. Princess Pippa is in the house. Princess Pippa is reading The Abominable Snowman. Did any of you, some of you might be, I think, Harry Cuthbert, I think you're quite a bit younger than me. But these Choose Your Own Adventure books were things that I read in my youth. So probably 30 years ago. Yeah, 30 years ago. And they've re-released them all in a box set, or several box sets. There's loads of them, look. Look at all those. Loads. So, don't trust old mate to make decisions, because he got us. Trev, you don't trust Trev. Oh, you don't trust him. You got to trust him. He's dealing with his camper van today. I think he's gone to pick up his car that attaches to the back of it. So he may or may not be in, but I did say to him last night, please don't get us killed. So, okay. So let's start the book. Give us a bit of background. Good morning, Daryl. How are you? Kev, quick hello, you're working. Just so you know, today's adventure is The Abominable Snowman. Speak of the Decil 4. The what? Okay, so you and your best friend Carlos have travelled to Nepal in search of the fabled Yeti or abominable snowman. Daryl. UPK mate. Carry on. Last year, while the two of you were mountain climbing in South America, a guide told you about the legendary creature, and you haven't stopped thinking about the Yeti since. Carlos arrived and went straight into the mountains when a Yeti sighting was reported, and he hasn't been heard from in 3 days. A late monsoon storm has moved in and the mountains are almost impassable. You know Carlos will depend on you to do the right thing. But what is it? You are a mountain climber. 3 years ago, you spent the summer at a climbing school in the mountains of Colorado. Your instructors said that you had a natural skill as a climber. You made rapid progress, and by the end of the summer, you were leading difficult rock and ice climbs. That summer, you became close friends with a boy named Carlos. The two of you made a good climbing team. Last year, you and he were chosen to join an international team. The expedition made it to the top of 2 unclimbed peaks in South America. One night on that expedition, the group was seated around the cook tent at the base camp. The expedition leader, Franz, told stories of climbing in the Himalayas, the highest mountain in the world. Okay, here's the Himalaya mountains, a bit of education for you. And the names of the different mountains. Little bit of history there, a little bit of geography. Every day is a school day with Pip. Okay. Fingers too big. Oh, mention camper van and they turn up. Yeah. Keith has climbed there, has he? Does he know which one? Was it the Himalayas or like any of the Himalayas? Like, well, obviously it was the Himalayas because you just said he climbed there, but like which one in particular? I know Everest. Kathmandu down there, look. It looks too cold for me. I know I like snow, but my hands would last 2 minutes up in that cold with my dodgy hands. Oh, not sure he isn't here. Okay, hold on. Where was I? I got a bit carried away. Turn to page 2 and then to page 4. The Himalayas form a great natural wall between India and China, with Nepal tucked in amid the peaks. Everest, K2, oh, I've heard of K2, and Appapuruna are the best known mountains in the Himalayas. These and many other peaks have been climbed. Still others lie in remote areas that few humans have gone. There, said Franz, in the high valleys beneath the snowfields lives the Yeti, sometimes called the abominable snowman. The Yeti is said to be a huge beast, Franz tells you. Perhaps a cross between a gorilla and a human. People cannot agree what it is. Is the Yeti dangerous? Carlos asks. Franz shrugged. Some say it is, and others say the Yeti is very gentle. Have you ever seen one, you inquire? No, almost no one has. The best proof of the Yeti's existence is a set of very large footprints discovered in the 1950s by a British expedition. No one has ever photographed one that I have heard of, Franz answers, but still the stories persist. Well, apparently they are filming them now. You have to remember these books were back in the day, like I said, about 30 years ago. Apparently now they are filming them. But, you know. You and Carlos decide there and then to find the Yeti. When you return from South America, the two of you raised money from the International Foundation for Research into Strange Phenomena. Your goal, proof positive that Yeti exists. You will find and photograph the Yeti. That is what brings you to Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Your problems, though, have already begun. 2 days ago, Carlos left by helicopter to the further terrain near Mount Everest. The helicopter returned without him. The pilot told you that Carlos decided to stay up at the Everest base camp to check out a report that a Yeti had been seen. He had a radio transmitter, but you have received no word from him. The weather turned bad and the radio communication was interrupted. You have an appointment to speak with R.N. Runel, the Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research, and an authority on the Yeti. He knows of your plans. You need his help with official permits for the expedition. He'll also have good advice and information. But what about Carlos? Okay, so here comes our first question. Who's come in to say hello? We've got, you calling me a devil? You'd be right. Amjad, hello. Gemma, hello. Okay, so here's our first question. Oh, Gypsy Lee, good morning. Okay, so here's your first question. Do you decide to cancel your meeting with Runel and search for Carlos? Or do you feel that Carlos is okay and go ahead with your plan to meet Runel? Personally, I think we should kind of go and check Runel because he's going to give us permits and other things, which I think we might come unstuck if we don't have. But what do you think? Go ahead. What? Go ahead and find Carlos or go ahead with the meeting? Meeting. Right, Daryl, that's what I'm thinking too. Sensible heads, right? You walk down a street bordered by tall pines. They are green-blue and the branches and needles are very fine and delicate. Hanging from the upper branches are what look like huge... That is the right page. Yeah, turn to page 8. Yes, okay. Just checking. Hanging from the upper branches are what look like huge tear-shaped blackish-brown fruit. You stop and look up, wondering what they are. Then one moves, spreads giant wings and flaps off. They are bats, the largest bats you have ever seen. You reach the foreign ministry and you are shown to a waiting room. You wait a few minutes and then are ushered in to meet R.N. Runel, Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research for the Nepalese government. Welcome to our country. We wish you success, but I have some bad news. The expedition you have proposed could be very dangerous. You look at him not knowing what to expect. Turn to page 10. Recently, a large expedition set out without telling us that they were going after Yeti, says Runel. They used guns and traps and tried to kill one of them. The Yeti was angry. Mr. Runel, we just want to find a Yeti. We have no intention of ever hurting a Yeti. I know that. We've checked up on you. It's a shame about the others. I must advise against going into Yeti territory. I could arrange a trip for you to go into the Terai region, one of the mountains in the jungle area. You could photograph and study the tigers. They're famous and also dangerous. Later, perhaps, you could conduct the expedition you were leading. Do you decide to go ahead with the expedition for the Yeti? Or do we want to postpone the expedition, yet let the Yeti calm down and go and film tigers? I didn't come here for tigers. What do we think? The Yeti. Too right, Gemma. We came here for the Yeti. Let's get the Yeti. Okay. I appreciate your warning and kind offer of the alternative to go to the Terai, you say. We are committed to this expedition. We will search for the Yeti with openness and friendship. R.M. Runel nods his head and speaks quietly to his assistant in Nepali. Within minutes, you have the necessary papers for the expedition, stamped in the proper places with the official seal of the Nepalese government. As you shake hands before leaving, he stops you. If you're determined to go on your expedition, it could be easier and safer if I come with you. What should you do? Having a government official along with you might just cause delays and bureaucratic snaffus. That's a good word, isn't it? Snaffus. On the other hand, he could smooth the way. Do we accept Runel's offer for him to join us? Do we decline the offer? And there's a picture of the chit chat. What do you think? Decline? Can we have a second for that? I'm a little bit worried that you might get in trouble if he gets eaten by a Yeti. Excuse me. Decline. Sorry, buddy. Thanks for your help, but no thanks. I think we'll go it alone. Thanks anyway. Mr. Runel shakes his head, but he does not smile. It is clear that you have offended this man. What should you do? Is an apology in order, or should you try to patch things up? Do we try to make amends and end up inviting him to accompany you anyway, or do we stick to our decision? I'm wondering if it's giving us a second chance here. Or it could be toying with us. Stick with it? Can we have a second on that? We are a team after all. Stick with it. Right, okay. Oh, you're harsh people. I think I would have given in. Page 42. Right. You leave Runel's office. As you walk outside, you are hit with torrential rain. It falls from the sky, hitting the earth in explosive drops. You planned your expedition, assuming the monsoons would be over by now, but apparently they are not. You sit it out in your hotel for 3 weeks. The constant rain has closed off all the trails to the mountain valleys with mudslides and boulders. Nature's gone wild and your expedition is blocked for good. Too bad. Try again next season. The end. Do you know what? That didn't happen, people. Because we allowed him to come with us. I told you they were giving us another option. So we're going to page 24 and letting him come with us. I'm not giving up this early in the book. With the shortest adventure ever. You've all gone quiet now, haven't you? All gone quiet now. Okay, so he's come with us. Now that he's a member of your expedition, Runel sends out a government team to set up your base camp and find Carlos. Success! Carlos is found and rejoins you. Runel turns out to be an excellent team member. Kathy, hello, hello. Hope the Yeti eats him. He's a bully. Daryl, he gets what he wants. How's lovely Kathy today? Where were we? 6 porters carry your food and tents and supplies. This leaves you free to explore and the steep valley sides and the small villages along the way. The days are long, beginning at first light and going until sunset. Your legs ache from the constant pounding as you walk along the narrow trails which have served these Nepalese people for hundreds of years. Above you, the bright blue sky is dotted with clouds. The snow and the ice flanks of Latus, Pumuri, and Everest rise above the green of the lower slopes. I've probably pronounced half of those mountains wrong. I'm sorry. Getting my stream ready for the top of the hour. Oh, yes, because you're an hour early still. It throws me. Right, okay, so we need to go to page 26. As you approach a valley, Runel points out a large building with a red roof which stands above the small, neat houses clustered about it. That's the monastery where there lives a monk, a Buddhist monk, who has lived with the Yeti. But I thought no one had ever really seen one. I thought no one alive had spent time with the Yeti. Runel answers, a well-kept secret. Those who share the secret knowledge of the Yeti are pledged to reveal this knowledge only to the appropriate people. You and you alone are one of the appointed. Ooh. It has been seen in the stars. It has been read in your hand. What do you mean? Who saw it in the stars and who read my hand? Runel does not answer for several minutes. Then he speaks. If you accept the secret knowledge, your life will change. You will never be the same. Decide now. Are we ready for the secret knowledge of the Yeti and the responsibility that goes with it? Or do we reject the secret knowledge? I say, let's learn about Yeti. We didn't come here to learn about tigers. We didn't come here to ignore info. I think we go find the Yeti. What do you think? Can't make today, Kathy. Reject? You're saying we should reject. Okay, what does someone else think as well? Let's have a... Because at the moment, I'm saying we go forward and he says reject. So, I need someone else to come in and make a third person so that we've got one no thanks to the secret knowledge and one yes please to the secret knowledge. Someone needs to come in and make it a decision. That's just splashed up my nose. Greg, how's things? Somebody, please. Daryl doesn't want the secret knowledge. I want the secret knowledge. We need a third person. I know you're saying reject, but we need a third person to, you know, to make a unanimous, this not unanimous, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not unanimous because we're against each other. Fair decision. I don't know. Well, you're no help. Give him the big A. The big A? What does that mean? Are we learning the secret knowledge of the Yeti or are we rejecting it? We've got 1 for, 1 against. Reject, right. On your head be it. Reject it, 116. Just let you know, I've never read these books. They only arrived yesterday. No, I'm never, ever going on an adventure with you lot. Ever. You look at Runel, you look at the monastery, and you look at Carlos. No, I'm not ready to accept your offer. No sooner have you spoken the words and clouds choke the narrow valley. The mountains seem to vanish and the monastery is swallowed up by darkness. Runel turns his back to you and speaks as if to the wind. I am very sorry that you cannot accept. Since you do not feel that you can go ahead, the expedition is declared over. All permits are revoked. You must return to Kathmandu and leave the country in 24 hours. The note of finality in Brunel's voice tells you that you have no choice whatsoever. Your trip is over. The end. I don't think I ever want to go on an adventure with you lot. Ever. You've just made me end twice. Oh dear, how sad, never mind. I wanted to find a Yeti. What was the point of going on an adventure and never getting a Yeti? Keep missing your streams. I think it's because the times changed slightly, Amjad, because they've had their hours difference or whatever it is. Yeah, they've gone into summertime or whatever it is. David, hello. You've just missed our very short adventure. Daryl got us killed twice. Well, didn't get us killed. Just ended our adventure. Don't ever go on an adventure with Daryl. Yeah, Keith. Okay, so when I come up and see you lot, he can walk around with his top off and then I'll actually get to see a Yeti, will I? Sounds like a plan. Does he mind if I call him Yeti and take photos of him just so I've got proof of a Yeti? Can he make that Yeti noise? At the moment, it is 11:38. But normally your live stream is at 1 o'clock, Kathy, for us. But at the moment it's 12 o'clock. He won't mind at all. Okay. So I'll film him as a Yeti then. Oh, that cup of tea's gone. It's been a funny old morning. 5 hours difference at the moment, yes, because of the daylight saving time. I think we change at the end of the month. I think. That is so windy out there. I want the storm to go away. I really want the weather to change. I'm supposed to be going hiking on Sunday with my sister, doing a really big block of the Ridgeway. That's the plan. It's nice up there. The weather here at the moment is either beautiful sunshine, but because of the high winds, we literally get a cloud come over, you get torrential rain, then it's gone in an hour, and then it's bright sunshine again, and it's like changes so quickly. It's really windy here. 12:39. Is that in the morning? Old school. Is that in the morning? That will be in the morning. You're on to the next day, aren't you? Amjad, whereabouts are you? I'm sure you've told me this. You're up north, aren't you, from me? Severe floods here. Like, very serious. Oh, no, Kathy. You need to stay safe. Are you okay where you are? That's really not good. Hello to all who came to our live last. Oh, and you know what? I missed your live last night. I didn't get the notification until I think it was finished. To my live stream at 5. Chill out and have a laugh at me. Oh yeah, do you know what? I probably can today as well. I probably can do that today. Because I'm not going food shopping, I'm not doing all the other stuff. I'll set a reminder, Amjad, and come and hang out with you. I've got to go and get my boy at 12:30. I've already had to go to the school once today because Kenzie left his school bag. And I was having a lay-in and the school rang me. Tons of rain, the ground's still frozen. Oh, so it didn't absorb any of the water. Good, I'm glad your house is dry. Croydon, so that's north of me. Don't forget the Aldi bloomers for the kids. Oh yeah, the Aldi bloomers are lovely. So nice. We've still got one of the other one in there, but it'll be going yucky if they don't hurry up and eat it. I need to get some butter actually while I'm in town. So what I need to do is I need to go to town, pick Brendan up. He's got a couple of job application forms. He needs to hand one in and he needs to pick one up because the boy needs to get a job. And I want to go to the salon and just have a quick 6 minutes on the sunbed because my cousin's party is next weekend and I don't want to be too pasty white. So I need to go and do that. But they were shut when I drove past. Oh, I don't like peanut butter. It's not my thing. What's he applying for? Just shop assistant work at the moment. Just, you know, part-time when he's not at school. Weekend. Hi, Syntax. How's things? 49. Yeah. And then I really, ideally, at some point, need to get out to the shed either this afternoon or tomorrow because my mum and dad have got a skip that is partly empty because they've had building work happening this week and they've still got loads of space in it. And I could go and get rid of stuff in the skip that they've got rather than having to try and find a tip because our local tip is closing, which is not good. So ideally I need to go and do that shed. I didn't really want to do that shed. I'm going to do it in the summer. Who DD challenged me? Oh yes, he did, didn't he? Yes. Okay. Well, I don't think I'll like it because I don't like peanuts. Well, I do like peanuts, don't like peanut butter. I don't think it will be. I think it will just taste creamier, won't it? I did actually get myself some gluten-free bread, so I could. I haven't got any peanut butter. Just tired. How are you? I'm all right. I'm okay. I keep feeling a bit rubbish. At the end of the day, I start to feel sick. But there is a bug going around, so I don't know. Who knows? But I feel fine at the moment. Lee's at home. He's upstairs. He's got back problems. We've both got osteo tomorrow morning. So mine's for my shoulder and his is for his back. So hopefully they'll help him. They helped him last weekend. No good eating strange things with a tummy bug. Oh yeah, we could all do it together in May, couldn't we, Daryl? We should all do it together. That should be the thing we do. And get like what we all think. I am going to come and stay in my car one night. So probably the first night. So what we'll do is we'll pick Kenzie up from school and we'll drive up straight from picking him up from school. So that's just before 3 o'clock. And hopefully we'll miss rush hour and get up to you guys. It'll only take us a couple of hours. Hopefully get up to you guys before the evening starts. And then he can get out of his school uniform and everything else. And then I'll do my test run of wild camping in my car on the site with you guys. And then they can go back to the caravan. We'll give it a go. How am I finding the adventures? Yeah, they're good. We didn't get very far in this one. Unfortunately. Didn't get to see a Yeti. But I've got 6 books to get through. And we can, we can do this another time. I might read it later. I think I would have got us through the adventure if I'd listened to my instincts. You wouldn't like our challenge, Pippa. Cat food on crackers and dog food with spaghetti. No, I don't eat animal food. Thanks. No. Cat food on crackers, dog food with spaghetti. Then we do a chicken food shake. No, you can keep that to yourself. I would be sick. Did I die? No, we didn't die. The adventure ended twice. I did skip the first one. I pretended it hadn't happened. But I didn't feel like I could skip it a second time. Just getting ready. Oh, you listening to us, Kathy? You're getting your screen sorted for your live stream. What are you going with today? What picture? What picture are you going with? I've got Damien coming in a bit to fit an extractor fan for us. That would be nice because we have a huge draft coming through the one we've got in the kitchen at the moment. Listening to the wrong people. Yeah, don't ask you for advice, eh? Kathy's green screens are cool, aren't they? I've got... Is that my lizard or the tortoise trying to get out? Hold on. Chase the straw, come out. You have to move though. Oh, the lizard was scratching to come out. So I've opened the door for him. Should be warmer then. Yeah, I just need to see, it would be better to have, if I've forgotten something vital, to know that I'm not a billion miles from civilization. Just to make sure that, my whole idea of how it will be will work. You're playing a superhero adventure role play gaming. So much fun. Are you doing that live or are you going somewhere to do that? Sounds fun. Broadcasting on your bed this month. Oh, yes. Because it's Friday. Thumb is a safari with Lily. Oh. I bet Lily likes being on safari. Only a couple of minutes from the caravan. There we go then. That'll be fine. Hi, Charles. We didn't get very far with our Yeti hunting, Charles. I'm afraid. We didn't die, but we didn't get very far. We didn't see a Yeti. I suppose we should be happy we came out of the adventure not being dead. And we did find Carlos, and he was fine. So, you know. My lizard's running around. Got a message come through. You hate live streaming on the laptop, keeps buffering. I don't tend to use my laptop because the what to call it's not very good. Camera is not very good. Your wife is a Sasquatch fan. Yeah. See, I love all of that stuff. Kenzie went through a stage where he watched loads of Sasquatch hunting like programs. Loves all of that sort of stuff, bless him. It's good fun. There's got to be stuff out there that we don't know about. There's so much of this world that's not been investigated and, you know, explored. Okay. It's gone quickly. Suddenly loads of messages came up. So did Camp Fantails go looking for a geocache? Did you? They do go geocaching, yeah. You know who travel. Hello, hello. Have you ever come across an abominable snowman or a Sasquatch on your journeys? You've travelled all over the place. We didn't get very far because I listened to these people who told me the wrong thing. My phone goes hot. Oh, yeah, that is a problem. And then they crash, don't they? Last time I played, I ended up early, dying 3 rockets from a helicopter. Oh dear. Stuck under a large pile of rubble that used to be a mansion. That's a way to go, hey, Syntax? She didn't last very long at all. You want to last a bit longer than that this time. Sounds like me when I played Fortnite for the first time the other day. I didn't do very well either. Small adventures. Hello, hello. Our thing today was a very small adventure. We didn't see any abominable snowmen. Snowmen. We're up at the van tonight, so I might go caching this weekend. I haven't done a cache in ages. In fact, I need to go and check on my caches and make sure they're not waterlogged. Oh, did they go? Yeah, they probably did. They probably did abandon me halfway through to go geocaching up a mountain. Yeah. Watched everything on TV about Sasquatch and similar mysteries. Oak Island. Ooh, not heard of Oak Island. What's that about? Hi, Nana Cat. How are you? How's things? I'm not dead. I barely got out, but I'm alive. You just buried under rubble. That's something. My lizard's coming back. And here I'm running in the room. You have a model Yeti from Pikes Peak. Well, have you been up any of these mountains in the Himalayas? Or visited any of these? I know you've travelled all over the place. Look, this was the map it gave us of all the mountains in the Himalayas. We didn't really get up any of them. First heard about Sasquatch on $6 Million Man. I can't remember the first time I heard of a Sasquatch. What am I doing with the book? Well, the book is a choose your own adventure. So it asks you, you know, tells you what's happening, and then you go here and you have decisions to make. And depending on the decision you make as to whether or not you go further into the adventure or your adventure ends, or you get eaten by something, or, you know, they're really good. I mean, they are for kids, but they're fun. He went up Kathmandu. Ah, cool. Kathmandu. There it is, down there, look. Kathmandu. That would be cool. No, none. One day, though. Who am I and where am I? Just woke up. Hi, Kathy. My sources tell me you have an amazing package coming very soon. Not from me. Blindview says he's sending me something. You're all getting a lovely package from me. Not amazing, but it's got some nice stuff in it. Playing role play games. Anything can happen. It's true. Takes you out of reality and into another world. It is. The world is, you know, gets a bit boring sometimes with all the real life stuff going on. Sometimes it's nice to be somewhere else that's not real. I live in a bubble anyway, so super busy for a bit and not awake. I jumped out of bed earlier on. I was having a lay-in, but I jumped out of bed because the school was trying to get hold of me and I'd got my phone on silent because I always go to sleep with it on silent. It's Friday, so I saw the kids off from my bed and went back to sleep. And I always set the alarm for 9:30 on a Friday, so I get a lay-in, but I don't waste my day. And Lee's off because he was really suffering last night with his back and his leg again. So I said to him, well, look, you know, don't go in. You may as well. He's got another appointment tomorrow. I was like, don't make it any worse. Just stay at home. Walk around, do bits. Don't let it seize up. But just, there's no point going into work. And I mean, work are being really good with him about it. And want to make sure that he's okay. But, you know, he is struggling. And it was only because his watch started ringing and it said unknown caller on it. So I woke him up and went, your watch is ringing. He checked his phone. His phone didn't seem to be ringing, but for some reason the watch had picked it up. And then I checked my phone and I got 2 missed calls. An unknown number always means school. They always have a private number for some reason. So I rang them back and Kenji had left his school bag on the stairs. So I had to get myself up and out and go and take him his school bag. That boy. And I was shouting to them, have you got everything? So yeah, where was I? Good morning, Totally Kathy. You live in Darrell World. Sounds like a cool place to be. Just tired. So does Keith. Well, he lives in Darrell World too. Yeah, Lee has to live in my bubble most of the time. She was having a lay-in. I was having a lay-in. Why? Is that weird? I have too much trouble with reality to play adventure games. Then maybe you should be in the adventure games. Maybe find it easier. Oak Island is in Nova Scotia, and there have been rumours for a long time about something buried there. Maybe gold, maybe proof that Francis Bacon wrote the works attributed. Oh, okay. I'll let Lee know about that. That sounds like our sort of thing. Hippy dippy. Hello. We did already play, but they got us out of the adventure too soon. We've literally hardly got into it. We call it sleeping in. Never heard lay-in. Yeah, lay-in. We have a lay-in. Friday is my lay-in day. Nice break from reality. What do you think, people? I've got half an hour before I need to go and get the boy. Should we cheat? We were at the bottom of the mountain and we wanted to know whether or not we wanted our secret knowledge of the Yeti, but everyone went for no. We were not ready, and that was the end of our adventure. We'd only got like 4 or 5 pages in. Do you think we should cheat for a little bit and just go back to the book and know the secret knowledge? Or do you want to just chit-chat for a bit? I'll let you guys to decide. Can't afford to go there again. I'm not listening to you anyway. Your trouble. Tickets are costly. What was that? Darrell World. You can come and live in my bubble if you like. Our friends and watch each other should do a stream chain, bounce from stream to stream. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, that would be really good. You'll have to go and raid you next then, Kathy. You're on in a minute, aren't you? Maybe I should end this and we should go and raid you. You need to scoot. Got to make the donuts. Ooh, donuts. Yummy. Share bubbles, a mind meld. Yes, bubbles coming together. Safari live stream. But don't want to steal your viewers. Well, why don't we decide, do we want to go over and raid Kathy's devotional, or do you want to learn the knowledge of the Yeti and see if we can get a bit further in the adventure, ignoring Daryl's advice? Whatever he says, I'm ignoring. Love you. You have not heard. Stop laying around, get up. You've not heard of the phrase lay in. I laid in for a bit this morning, so I'll be home for coffee with you. Oh, what do you want to do then, people? You got to go anyway. You run away now. Might actually get some of my adventure done. You're meant to be good at adventures. You travel everywhere. What do you want to do? Do you go raid Kathy? Or do we want to know the secret knowledge of the Yeti and the responsibility that goes with it and see if we can get a bit further in this adventure? Let's have a vote. I've only got about 25 minutes and then I've got to go and get my boy. What do we think? What do we think? Thank you, Charles. Oh, Kathy's just started. I reckon my loyalties are lying in with Kathy. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, those of you that want to go over and say hi to Kathy, go say hi to Kathy. Some of you guys have got to go and do bits, and some of you want to stay and play the game for a bit. So let's do that. Let's have the options. Those of you that need to go do what you need to do, go do that. Thanks for hanging out with us. Checking out Kathy's first comment. Someone said Pippa is live streaming. Hi, Kat. So we're gonna go. So basically, for those of you that have come in late, bye, David. See you soon. Those of you that came in late, we've not missed a lot. We've basically, you and your friend Carlos are very good mountaineers, and you have basically gone on search of a Yeti. Carlos went ahead. You hadn't heard from him. You went to visit this guy called Mr. Runel, who is from the foreign ministry, and he's given you various passes and various bits and bobs. What we've learnt so far is if you go against his word, your game ends pretty quick. So we're now at a village. There is a monastery where there lives a monk, a Buddhist monk who has lived with the Yeti, but I thought no one had really seen one. I thought no one alive had spent any time with the Yeti. Runel answers, it's a well-kept secret. Those who share the secret knowledge of the Yeti are pledged to reveal this knowledge only to appointed people. You and you alone are one of the appointed. It has been seen in the stars and it has been read in your hand. What do you mean? Who saw it in the stars? Who read it in my hand? Runel does not answer for several minutes. Then he speaks. If you accept the secret knowledge, your life will change. You will never be the same. Decide now. Well, we decided not to. Well, they decided not to. I said we should. And that was the end of our mission. So we're going to go with the secret knowledge. So I don't think we're going to know much about Yetis if we don't actually go with the secret knowledge. I gladly accept your offer. I'm ready for the knowledge. Come with me. He leads you to the monastery. Carlos stays behind. You and Runel enter the monastery through a huge wooden door. It's dark inside, but you make out the figure of an old man seated at the floor. Behind him is a statue of Buddha. The man welcomes you and motions you to sit before him. You see that he is wearing the robes of a monk. You have several you are served yak butter tea. Ugh. I imagine that's disgusting. A thick broth that you find hard to swallow. Listen well with heart, head, and body. Listen with eyes more than with ears. Heed the cry of the Yeti, the old monk tells you. You can hear bells in the distance and wind in the pine trees just outside the window. It's beautiful. You sit for what seems like hours, listening with your whole being. Finally, the monk speaks. Time now to go on your next journey. What journey, you ask? This is getting too weird. A continuation of the one you are already on, he replies. Okay, there's the monk and Buddha and your disgusting yak tea. That's not tea if you ask me. Bye, Kathy. Story time. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Okay, so it says, do we agree to take the journey or decide we are not prepared to change our life forever? I reckon if we decide we are not prepared, that'll be the end of the journey. So I reckon we should take the journey. Do we take the journey, people? Do we take the journey? Seems pointless at this point to turn back. What do you say? What do you say? Take the journey. Take the journey. Two right syntax. These are the ones I grew up with, but they've been re-released on Amazon. They're called Choose Your Own Adventure. You can get them in box sets. Okay, Runel is still with you. Hold on, where was I? Page 51. Runel is still with you. He taps you on the shoulder and you rise and follow him to the back of the monastery behind the golden Buddha. The heavy smell of rose-scented incense fills the air. The Yeti are guides to Shangri-La. They take the chosen people to this hidden valley, which many have heard of and only a few have seen. You nod, wondering what comes next. One last chance, my friend. Turn back now and live a normal life with your friend Carlos, or go ahead and accept the life of the secret world. Do we turn back? Do we go ahead? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not influencing you at all. I think we go ahead. Go ahead. Page 70. I am ready. Runel, lead the way. Runel taps 3 times on the back of the Buddha near the spot where its skull and neck join. It makes a clanging sound like cymbals being struck. Awesome. Before you stands a 7-foot-tall being with broad shoulders and huge feet. His face is gentle and kind. You are not frightened. Runel introduces him. This is Zodak. He is your special guide. Follow him. He will take you where you must go. Can I say goodbye to Carlos? It is not usual. I do not advise it. It might upset him and you. However, if you wish, go and say farewell. Okay, so there's the Buddha. So, do we go and say goodbye to Carlos or do we just go? What do you think?
12:10.
12:10. Okay, got 10 minutes then. 10 minutes. I've got a 10-minute warning. So, do we just go ahead and not worry about Carlos? We'll just keep going. Just keep going. Say goodbye. He is your friend. Okay. Turn to page 90. Let's go say goodbye to our friend. You walk out of the room. The Yeti, Zodak, accompanies you. Carlos stands outside as he was when you left him. He is frozen in time. He can't hear you, nor can you hear him. You've become a part of a different world. You start to realize some of the consequences of your decision to go to Shangri-La. You say a quiet goodbye to Carlos, even though he cannot hear you, and follow Zodak back into the monastery. Zodak motions to you to follow. He takes one giant step into the air. You look with amazement as he hovers a meter off the ground. Then you step up into the air, and you two are suspended above the floor of the monastery. You are levitating. Whoosh! The two of you zoom out of the monastery, right through the walls, up into the sky. You travel at an unimaginable speed. You climb at a dizzying pace until the two of you stand on top of the sharp, icy crest of Mount Everest. Below you stretch glaciers, mountains and valleys. You see the world from the top. Zodak points to a narrow slot near the topmost point of Mount Everest. He says this is the route to Shangri-La. He takes 3 steps, enters the slot and disappears from sight. There's you and your Yeti floating up. Turn to page 97. You take one last look at the earth around you. You see the clouds rolling up from the flat, dry plains of the Punjab in India. You see the curve of the earth. You see the contrail of an aeroplane far to the south. You step into the narrow chute. It's warm, glistening with the shine of a metal unknown to you. You hover in space in the narrow metal tube. In truth, you are moving at a great speed down through the centre of Everest. There is rose-coloured glow around you. Where is Zodak? Some guide, you think, leaving me alone. What's next? Turn to page 112. 112, 112. 112. With a gentle bump, you come to rest. In front of you is a clear glass door. You push it open, and there stands Zodak. Come, welcome to Shangri-La. You walk out into the dark green valley surrounded by low-lying hills. In the distance are high mountains. One of them looks like Everest. You hear music unlike the music you have ever heard before. It is somewhat like the sounds in the monastery, the bells and the wind. The sunlight is warm and relaxing. Zodat leads you down a long trail to a 7-story building. It seems to be a fortress, but it is painted white and red and gold. There are no soldiers, no guns, only people who smile and greet you as though you're an old friend. It seems so natural. You turn to Zodak and you get a shock. His form has changed. Now he is the mirror image of you. What does that mean? Although you never find out about that, you learn about many things as you stay in the valley. You have the chance to try many activities you could never try before, but only what is available in the valley. You learn to be contented within the limits of the small valley. Second thoughts. Okay. One last chance. Is that it? Is that... Now, hold on. Was that a question? It doesn't say contented with the limits of the small valley. Second thoughts. Go to page 107. One last chance. Is that it? Is that what you want? Okay, you're on. Out of the valley of Shangri-La and back to the real world. Is it different? Can you do whatever you want? Can you fulfill your dreams? Can you enjoy your life completely? Or must you be content within the limits? The end. Well, that wasn't much of an adventure. How do I get to see all these other Yeti people and things? I guess I should have taken a different path at some point. It wasn't a very big adventure, was it? Not a very one. It wasn't very big. Right, you lovely lot. I've got to go and get my boy. And I need to go and do some bits in town. But yeah, look on Amazon if you want to go and get some little adventure. I mean, there are kids' books. They are. Like I said, I read these probably 30 years ago. Well, some of them. We had a few of them. But they're really cool. They're really cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry we didn't get to, spend an awful lot of time with Yetis. Apparently there are 28 different endings. I think we've seen about 4 of them. Maybe next time. Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe these adventures aren't as long as the adventure we went on with the other book, because the other book was a Dungeons and Dragons book. Right. Thanks for watching, you lovely lot. Please check out my daily vlog, which will be going up tonight. I'm not sure what will be in it. We'll have to see what the day brings. And yeah, we'll catch you all very soon. Amjad, I will do my very best to get over to your live stream at 5 o'clock. Definitely will try my very, very best. As long as nothing pops up this evening that needs to be done, then I will definitely be there.